I'd like to call the January 20th, 2022 Giles County School Board meeting to order. At this time, as you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This being our normal reorganization, that's the reason, just so people on virtual and here understand why I'm the one that started the meeting and continuing the meeting. At this time, I need to ask the board to approve the agenda.
I'll make that motion.
Got a motion? Need a second?
Second.
Have a second? All those in favor? Unanimous. This time I need to open the floor up and ask for a nomination for chairman of the Giles County School Board at this time.
I make a motion that we keep Mr. Steele as chairman and Mr. Buckland the vice chair.
Got a motion on the floor that Mr. Steele would continue as the chairman and Mr. Buckland would continue as the vice chairman. Do I have any other nominations? Hearing none, I close the floor. Now, it's going to be kind of hard. I guess y'all can vote on part of that. First I'll ask the board to approve the chairman, if that's okay, as Mr. Steele. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. All right, and Mr. Steele abstained. And at this time, Mr. Steele, congratulations, thank you. And I'm gonna turn the meeting back over to you and let you finish the approval of the other stuff.
All right, thank you, Dr. Arbogast. So we have a recommendation for vice chair for Mr. Buckland. And get a vote for Mr. Buckland to be vice chair. All those in favor? Unanimous. Mr. Buckland abstains. Okay, the next item of business is to choose what day of the week and time for our regular meetings. We've had some back and forth here and there about whether we should stick with 4:30, try to do something to allow folks to get here. And I think we keep falling back to the 4:30 time because we have kids and teachers that come and do presentations, and it makes it really work out well for them to come straight from school and do that. So unless we want to consider a later time, I think we'd always set some meeting dates later if we had some business that we thought the public may have a hard time getting to. But that's my thought. The rest of the board should weigh in on what everybody thinks about the 4:30 time.
Yeah, historically, the board meeting's been third Thursday of the month at 4:30 is what conversation's been. So, no more discussion. I get a motion to set the meeting time for the third Thursday of every month at 4:30 p.m.
I make that motion.
I'll second that motion.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor? At this time, we want to appoint clerk and deputy clerk. So take nominations, suggestions for the clerk position.
Nominate, hand it long day today.
Any other nominations? All right, so I'll close the nominating and ask for a vote to approve Amanda Tickle as our clerk. All those in favor? Yes. Back.
Thanks.
Just touch and go there for a little bit.
Things are going really bad. So we got you back. So get the herding cats again.
Yeah.
We're hard to keep in the right direction. But nominations for deputy clerk.
I nominate Dr. Arbogast to be the deputy clerk.
Any other nominations?
I think we can vote now.
Close the nominations now, and can I get a vote on approving Dr. Arbogast as deputy clerk? All those in favor? And last but not least, certainly not least, the superintendent's designee. Get a nomination for that position.
I'll nominate Lisa Mustang for that.
I'll second that. Sorry.
Any
I'll say
other,
if there's anybody else.
any other nominations? And Ms. Mustang's not allowed to nominate, so we'll close the nominations and get a vote to approve Ms. Mustang as superintendent's designee. All those in favor? Unanimous. All right, good team, back in business here. So, next order of business is public comments. I do want to preface before we get started, we do have a lot of things to get through the meeting, and if we could keep the public comments to 3 minutes, and that way we can allow other people to speak and get through to the rest of the agenda. So with that, I'll go with the first public comment to sign up was Mr. Robert Moses.
Hello, members of the board. I'm sure you all remember me from a couple months ago. Surprisingly, I'm not here for what I was last time. I think that situation has resolved itself. What I'm here to request is we are the host parents of an exchange student from Norway. I don't know if anyone has been aware of her. Her name's Amelia. She's attending Giles High School as a senior. And when she first got here, it wasn't even in our thought, but someone in the administrative position at the high school said, you're not going to get a diploma, but if you want, you can walk with us. And we can call your name out and you can be part of that experience and have that excitement. And we're like, yeah, sure, she'd love that. We think that'd be great. And about a month afterwards, we learned that the county said that she can't. When they said the county, the only thing I can think of is y'all, that she's not permitted to walk because she's not actually getting a diploma. When we found that out, her friends were kind of disappointed. And a lot of the students at the school were like, well, that's dumb, why can't she just walk with us? They had no issue, no one raised a complaint, no one was bothered by the fact that she isn't officially getting a diploma, but they were bothered that they weren't gonna let her walk. They thought that that would be an exciting thing for her. Part of the reason that she is here is to get the American experience. They don't have graduation ceremonies in Norway. They don't do that. And so normally they come on their junior year, but because of COVID, she wasn't able to make it on her junior year, but she was able to come this year, and as a special perk, we were hoping that you guys could grant her permission to walk with her friends. They just read her name out. She doesn't get a diploma, but she gets to be part of that American experience that's unique to America is a graduation ceremony. And I hope that you guys would consider granting her an opportunity to be part of that experience. That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Moses. The next person to sign up is Sabrina Gautier.
Hello, school board, and congratulations on your getting voted in. Okay, I'm here to talk about, of course, the mask mandate that comes into effect on Monday per the Governor Youngkin's orders. I've went back and looked up, there's 16,720 people in Giles County as of 2019. There's 38 deaths, so that is 0.00227273 of our percentage of our people. One death is too many, don't get me wrong, I hate that. But the CDC has went on and said cloth masks do not work. Everyone has went on and said that, so I don't know why we have went by Ralph Northam's things for 2 years, so I think it's time we go by the new governors, starting the 24th. And if you wanna wear a mask, wear a mask. No one should say anything to you, but if you don't wanna wear a mask, you shouldn't have to wear a mask per the orders of the governor. Then I have another thing to add up that doesn't make any sense. The money that was allocated to the Giles County school system. On May the 20th, $383,595.29 was allocated to Giles County school system. January 22nd, 2021, $1,615,425.96 was allotted to Giles County school systems. April the 30th, $3,628,017.24 was allotted to Giles County school systems. The amount that was available as of April the 30th, 2020 was $2,418,678.16. On January the 11th of 2021, they got a special education, $11,325.29. Vision got $67,740, and it was a total of $79,065.29. Says the total of Giles County schools got $8,124,781.94. My question is, out of that, why again does every class not have an air purifier? I know Giles got their grant. Why did Naris not get the grant? Every school should have an air purifier to make this mask mandate go away. And I've got the memo numbers for the money. It's on the website of it tells you every school system and the exact amount they got, the date they got it, and the memo number. I don't know if this is true. Some say it's not, I don't know, but I've got all the numbers for the URSA, for the, where is that, GEERF, CARES Act money. This is what it says, this is what I'm going by, and I think we can have better ventilation systems so we have no problem with masks.
Sabrina, I think, if correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. Arbogast, but Giles was the only school that asked for air purification systems when we went around.
But that should have been a Giles County.
Well,
Not
we asked the schools what they felt like they needed with their staff to get the schools back open when we went back to 4-day-a-week last year. And Giles was the only school that asked for the air purification systems, and actually they didn't really ask for it, they, I think, got a grant from Korean for that. We're hearing conflicting information as to the small air purifiers, whether they're effective or not. I think there's still questions about that, but we are spending those monies. There are plans in place to spend those monies to improve ventilation for our buildings, all our buildings. But the problem with that is it's not something that we can do in 30 days. It's something that requires architectural studies, engineering studies, planning, bidding. You know, I've been on this board 18 months now, and even before I was on the board, they were talking about upgrades to the HVAC, which included ventilation in Ayers Elementary. And just now, last month, the project started. So we want to do that as much as we can, but many of the fixes are not they're not something that we can, I mean, the $3 million isn't going to touch it. So it's not, we're doing the best we can with that and looking at all solutions, but to really have a fix for it, it's something that just we cannot do this school year or probably even next at all the buildings.
Oh, and I want to say one other thing, Steve Steele, I absolutely 110% agree with you. Every student should be in every game free. Every student. So that's all I'm saying, if you can look at the money and see where, but the mask mandates as of January 24th. If you want to wear a mask, wear a mask. If you don't want to wear a mask, you should not have to wear a mask per their orders. And I have been in touch with Mr. Youngkin and Mr. Mayers, the Attorney General. I have been in touch with both of them and they are getting back to me. So that's all I'm saying about Monday.
All right. Thanks, Brian. The next person to sign up is Mr. Kenny Spencer.
Good afternoon, Board. Really, I'm just here really to follow up what Ms. Gautier was saying about the mask mandate. It doesn't appear to me that what side you're on, you can take 15 minutes and do some research and let it say whatever you want it to say. I agree with what Sabrina said about let's give it back to the parents, like the governor has said. Starting on the 24th. If you elected not wear it, don't wear it. If you want to wear it, wear it. I think that should be left up to the parents. It's not, I don't think, my opinion, it's not up for a school nurse to tell you what to do. She doesn't override a doctor or anything like that. As long as your kid is healthy, well, not experiencing any symptoms, let them come to school, be a kid. Each one of us right now can think back of when we were kids and the fun we had, but now we're trying to restrict our kids in ways that I think, and like I said, you could take research from one hand or take research from the other hand and let it prove whatever you're trying to say. But just let the kids be kids, let the parents parent and let the teachers teach. So really that's really all I got to say. I just hope on the 24th that there is some type of a policy put in place that allows the kids the freedom. If they want to wear the mask, they shouldn't be belittled by no means or whatever. It's their choice. If they want to wear it, wear it. If not, then there shouldn't be any repercussion on them not to wear it. I appreciate y'all's time. Thank you again. I know hopefully y'all got my email. I really just want to thank y'all for the dedication that y'all put into this. Whether we agree on things or disagree on things, I'm sure it's hard sitting where you guys are at, but thank y'all again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thanks for the email, Kenny. That we don't really know what issues are out there and what people are passionate about and need us to address unless we get emails or calls. So again, discussion, everybody loves when I get on this soapbox. Discussion amongst yourselves on Facebook does not help us do anything to change policy or make lives better. So if you need something, let us know directly what we need to be thinking about, because we can't get in the middle of all back and forth. We're trying to figure out what people actually want us to do. So thanks for the emails. Thanks for taking the time to come out and provide public comment in person. We urge all of the constituents that voted us in and considered us worthy to be representatives for you to keep doing that, because we work for you. So keep letting us know what we need to try to make better. That's all the public comment requests that I have this time. Ms. Amanda, anything else? Anybody else? Okay, that's all. Again, encourage everyone to come out and provide public comment if that's something that you think would help us understand better what we should be doing. Next item on the agenda is consent item approval by single board vote, which includes meeting minutes from November 23rd and December 15th, financial data, which includes bills, payroll, revenue expenditure report, appropriation requests, and field trips. So for those listening, that's what we will be approving with this single vote. Any motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion or questions about the consent items? All right, all those in favor? And before we get too much further, I do want to include Mr. Wilburn. by telephone. He is under the weather today, and considering the situation, wanted to make sure he keeps everybody as safe as possible. So I need to get a motion from the board that we include Mr. Wilburn in the remainder of the meeting. So if I can get a motion from someone to include him based on health reasons on the phone.
I move that Mr. Wilburn be able to participate telephonically on the phone because of health reasons.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor? We'll take a second here for Mr. Mark on the phone.
Item is on.
Yes, go ahead.
Hi, Mark, I've got you on speaker.
Hello.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
I guess.
Hey, Mark, so we're through public comment and we approved the consent items, but we're getting ready to get into the part of the meeting that you said you would definitely want to be involved with. So just letting you know you're now in the meeting virtually.
Okay.
Can you hear me okay? Moving ahead, moving forward from where I'm sitting? Mark, can you hear me all right from where I am?
Yeah, I can barely hear you, but I can hear you.
Okay. Got enough cord. Right here.
You're sitting right in your chair now, Mark.
Okay.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Okay, the next item on the agenda is the superintendent's report. Dr. Arbogast.
Thanks, sir. At this time, I have some personnel items I need to ask the board to approve. First off, I need to ask the board to approve the following employment. Erica Johnson, Eastern Elementary Middle School Teacher Assistant, effective January 3rd.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Got a motion and a second, Mark. Motion and a second to approve employment Erica Johnson, Eastern Elementary Teacher Assistant.
Yes.
All those in favor?
Need to ask the board to approve the following athletic contracts. Cameron Fields, Narrows High School JV basketball cheer coach, and Julia Scott, Giles High School head cheerleading coach.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve athletic contracts, Cameron Fields, NHS JV basketball cheer coach, Julia Scott, GHS head cheerleader coach. Any discussion? Further discussion? All those in favor?
Need to ask the board to approve the following volunteer agreements. Colin Muncie, Narrows High School track.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve volunteer agreement for Colin Muncie, Narrows High School track. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
As the board knows, we are part of VSBA, and as part of the Virginia School Board Association, we subscribe to the update policy services and get updates to our school board policies or new policies or whatever it might be. So with that in mind, our current services with them expires at the end of January. So at this time, I need to ask the board to approve us continuing with VSBA for their policy services and continue to receive those updates and revisions, et cetera, moving forward for the next year.
Make that motion.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve VSBA policy services and update their agreement for 1 year with an option to renew at the same price through January 31st, 2024. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Unfortunately, due to the fact that we have been virtual this past week. We do not have an educational feature for the board this evening, so hopefully in the month of February, when we're back in school and able to, we'll have our kids here to do some presentations to the board for whoever's has the February educational feature. Some other updates for the board. I'm gonna keep on going as long as y'all are all right with that. Currently, as of last Wednesday, January 12th, our enrollment was as follows. We had 2,149 students in person. We had 25 that were virtual that are in county. That's 2,174 Giles County students, and we have 1,338 stride students that are the non-residential virtual students. So that gives us a total of 3,512. We want to congratulate Nares High School's theater group. They attended an activity last Friday and Saturday, a thespian conference, and they were runner-up during that conference. So congratulations to them and the students that participated. Just an update for the board and everybody else. As of today, we have used 7 virtual days and 1 snow day. I'll have to make sure I counted them correctly because I think tomorrow will be 8 virtual day. So with that, we're getting close to the 10 that we are allowed to utilize. I will need to make a request to DOE, State Superintendent, to get a waiver if we need to go above that 10 for virtual learning. So I will probably be.
Can I make a comment?
Go ahead, Mark.
One thing I'd like to say and appreciate, I like the information coming out early. I think that's being done great, and I think everybody appreciates that. The calls are coming out earlier, and I do appreciate Dr. Overgas, all that coming out and letting everybody know, God willing on that.
Thank you. Appreciate that. We try to get it out as quickly as we can so everybody's aware and parents have the ability to make any plan changes that they need to make.
I think it makes a big difference.
And Dr. Overgas, the option that we would have to consider if we didn't ask for a waiver would be to push graduation out however many days we weren't granted additional virtual days, right?
Well, what it would do is would push, if we did not do any other virtual days and we missed any more school, snow, we're already using February 21st, which is a makeup day for Tuesday of this week. That was a snow day. So we're using that as a school day. We have 3 other makeup days in the calendar. That's the 7th, 8th, and 9th. So if we did not use virtual days, we would have to use at least the 7th, 8th, and 9th, and possibly the 10th, because we already missed one of our makeup days last week.
But I mean, there's no chance they don't approve that waiver.
I would anticipate that it would be approved and we would be able to continue to use virtual days because we have been offering, and that's part of the reason, just so I guess everybody knows, Tuesday we did a snow day because we couldn't offer meals service because just didn't feel that it was safe to get anybody out. Wednesday and Thursday and tomorrow, we can have people come here and pick up meals from the board office between 2 and 3. So we're offering meals and we have meals available. So to count it as a virtual day, we need to make sure we're offering the services that we normally offer. And meals is part of that.
Having no virtual days aren't as beneficial to a lot of kids as in person, as unpopular as it may seem. we have to go later in the summer to get real days, as opposed to just checking a box of the virtual day. We'll let the teachers and administrators tell us what they think is the best route to go with that, so. Again, not a very popular statement to make, but I think we'll let the people that teach tell us what they think is the best route on that.
I do have a couple other items I need to ask the board to approve at this time. I need to ask the board to approve the following employment. Chrissy Tickle, student support specialist, that's the district division-wide position, that'll be effective February 1st. Katrina Kales, Narrows High School teacher assistant, effective February 26th. And Dr. Mike Brown, Director of Operations, that's effective July 1st, 2022.
Make the motion that we approve those employment contracts agreements.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve employment contracts. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Need to ask the board to approve the following volunteer agreement. Jason Spicer, Narrows High School softball.
We'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
And I need to ask the board to approve the following resignation. Hillary Jackson, Macy McClarty teacher, effective February 1st.
Make a motion to approve that.
Second.
A motion and a second to approve resignation. Any discussion? All those in favor?
That's all I have right now, except for talking about dates at the end.
Okay, well, I want to circle back on a couple of things.
Well, no, I wanted to ask too, so when, would we like talk about graduation dates to be set? Because I know that people like doing their announcements and stuff like that. Is there,
I think we normally try to set it by February or March.
is that, okay?
15.
I think March is normally when we try to set it by March.
Because I know that puts them a little close with people trying to get stuff ordered and in and stuff, so is that because we're just waiting just to make sure with our days?
Make sure we get through the weather days and that sort of stuff.
I didn't know, maybe we could do it sooner with virtual, you know, being there, since we've been able to use virtual stuff. Because that's, so you say February or March?
We normally do it the March board meeting is when we normally set it.
Is that, like, we do it any sooner for them? I mean, I know a lot of the schools kind of like that, to do it sooner, I mean, be able to.
Yeah, I think they're having trouble getting announcing stuff in already, so they want that as quick as possible. But the dates is,
Is that because you think too, Mark, I've heard a lot of with stuff.
oh yeah,
delayed.
I have always, yeah, they want that, because of the back orders and stuff and getting, all that information in, so they would like to have that so that it's available as soon as they can.
We can try February to set some date with some backup.
Yeah, I think we could talk about it the 17th, February 17th. We can actually talk about it during the 2 day, the 10th, February 10th with the principals during the
We'll
retreat.
have them in budget meeting.
Yeah, you'll have the board retreat on the 10th
Yeah,
and then.
sounds good.
Okay, just like, okay, thank you.
Yeah, I wanted to circle back on the request we had from Mr. Moses. But is there something we have to do special? Have somebody off?
We need to look into that and see what's going on.
Okay. I don't think there's any reason we should not try to work that out unless there's something that causes a problem, so.
We'll
He's not here.
look into it and I'll let the board know
Okay.
what the.
And Sabrina and Kenny will be talking about your concerns here shortly. I'm assuming the board's pleasure is that we discuss that before we go into final comments from each board member.
That's fine.
that okay with everybody? All right, well, I'll just preface, we clearly have been given an executive order by the new governor, and that's got everybody very unsure of what's gonna happen. Unfortunately, your board doesn't have any more information than you have. And at this time, we are gonna make a motion to change some things around. Then that does not mean that we're not gonna continue to monitor things as the world changes day by day. We're doing the best we can to follow what's coming down the pipe so that we can stay in line with the executive orders, with the mandates to keep masks on, which is federal. We can't do anything about that. On the buses, the teachers are stuck with masks because OSHA will fine us if they don't wear them. A lot of things we're waiting on better guidance from, but this executive order in particular, we gotta make a decision on that. And so I'm gonna let Ms. Gwen make a motion.
So I would like to propose that we amend the current mask policy to comport with the Executive Order 2, allowing parental choice without production of any documentation or exemption. And number 2, to maintain current masking requirements for staff consistent with DOLE requirements, and maintain masks for transportation consistent with Department of Transportation regulations.
Second.
A motion and a second. At this time, need to give the board an opportunity for any discussion.
Yeah, I'd like to just take a couple words their numbers have increased, and I'm so afraid that they're going to get so much worse, and I think as a board, as a school system, we better pay very close attention to these numbers, no matter what the governor says. I care less what he says. We better take care of our backyard and the people that entrusted us, and we better, if these numbers start to rise, we better do something drastically and turn about face. And I'm not scared to death that they will rise. But that's all I need to say.
All right, Mark, thanks. Any other discussion from board members?
For effective date, the 24th, January 24th, which is Monday. Is that Monday? Yeah.
Only comment I'll make is that this board has tried really hard to set precedent and follow CDC recommendations. We've tried to follow executive orders from previous governors. We've also tried to keep in mind that we live in a county that we choose what we want when we have the chance to do that. So this motion is in the same spirit as the board has done from the time that this ridiculous pandemic started. And that we're just trying to find a way so that people in the community can see that we're following some rhyme or reason. So if we follow previous executive orders, it's really difficult for us to pivot and not work to follow this one, because then we start not following anything traditional. So we're gonna have people that are concerned about this one way or another. I think Mark very appropriately voiced concern, and this entire board along with the staff, we will be watching to make sure that everybody's as safe as they can be. But unfortunately, the governor has chosen to send out an executive order without thinking about anything else that's already in place. And we're in between a rock and a hard place. So that's all the discussion that I have. Jason, you got anything?
Yeah, I think, it goes back, I was actually speaking with the superintendent today, I feel like
COVID has been a political football that both parties, political parties ought to be ashamed of how they handled it. Because, you know, it puts people in our position without guidance, with competing guidance, in an almost impossible situation to decide what to do. You know, and that's in Washington and that's in Richmond on both sides. I think Governor Youngkin, you know, I'm hopeful. I agree with the sentiment that parents should have the right. I'm a parent myself. I do not think that this, I wish it wouldn't have been rushed into from the standpoint of we have no guidance on our employees. We have a statement that we need to marshal our resources to address ventilation and air circulation. We have been doing that, we're trying to do that, but you know, that's not gonna be provided by ESSER funds. That's gonna cost us millions and millions of dollars that the taxpayers of this county may have to borrow. We're gonna have to go to the Board of Supervisors for part of that. It's a blessing to have the federal money. Wish we could have more on it, wish we could have more from the state. But, you know, as this goes forward, there's indications that there's gonna be more guidance come out from different departments of the state, so things may change. We'll continue to, as a board, to monitor the situation of the watchful eye of Dr. Arbogast and Ms. Mustaine. And, you know, I just hope everyone uses this freedom responsibly, respects, you know, Mr. Moses came last time, he told a story that was very horrible about his daughter not wearing, or someone not wearing the mask properly and getting made fun of. I just hope that we can set this aside, move forward together, and as things come up, we can handle it well. That's my hope.
And I hate it like teachers, you know, I mean, I've all very been passionate for everyone to be able to decide what they want to do, you know, but hopefully we're going to get some guidelines quickly on staff as far as what they want to do. And, you know, by all means, if you are comfortable wearing a mask, your children, wear your mask. You know, but I just want the same for parents who don't want their kids, who have concerns over the dirty mask and breathing in their own air. I just think we have to let people choose what they feel like is best for their children.
And everybody just needs to keep in mind that regardless of what this vote results in, the safeguards that we have in place for quarantining for now will remain the same, because we still have to do the best we can to keep infection from spreading. The health department has praised us and told us that we've done a great job and that has helped to keep us in the building. Until we get different guidance from folks, that's gonna be the same. So with freedoms and decide not to wear a mask, that could mean that there's a better chance for your kid to get quarantined. But in America, I think that's what we're all trying to get back to, is measuring those pluses and pros and cons and choosing what we think is best for our families. So we will keep those safeguards in place for the teachers, for trying to stay in person. So unless there's any other discussion, we'll go ahead and take a vote. There's a motion on the floor, there's a second. All those in favor?
I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I made the motion, so I guess you know that, yes.
Mark, what's your vote?
No.
Mark's vote no. The motion's approved. And again, we got Katie Wright sitting here from the DEA. We're gonna continue to really focus on keeping an eye on this, as Mark said. We need to understand what things would make this mitigation better. And if people think that our vote, yes or no, would have changed the parents still having this right granted by the governor, then it's not the case. So we're in a rock, literally between a rock and a hard place, because that right was granted to them through the executive order, period. So what we are doing is aligning ourselves with executive order from this governor, just like we did with the previous governor. So it's more of a formality at this point than anything else. So we're doing the best we can, and I'm sure that we're not gonna be making some people happy at the same time making others happy, so. With that being said, is there any other business that any board members wanted to address before we go to final statements? Dr. Arbogast, you have anything else, Ms. Mustaine?
No, sir, just have dates, but we'll talk about that one.
Okay, yeah, we can go ahead and do that before we do final.
February 10th and February 17th are the two dates scheduled for the school board retreat at this time. Both of those are Thursdays. We'll start both of those probably, 8:30, I think, that morning, breakfast, and then the 10th, you'll meet with all the principals, et cetera, and then the 17th, you'll meet with central office staff. So, and then
Change that name, have we?
no, we haven't, have we?
No, we
No,
haven't.
we need, yeah. And February,
What time the meeting start on the 17th, Dr. Arbogast?
same time, 8:30 that morning, I think is what it is. And we'll have a board meeting at 4:30 on the 17th. That's our normal board meeting date.
Is there rain biscuits?
We've got, we're set for that's right, the school board meeting will be the 17th, that'll be the February meeting. We don't need a work session, assuming all of the budget meetings we'll be having earlier that month.
I mean,
Anybody feel like we don't need another work session?
we'll probably need two board members for the February 2nd meeting with the Board of Supervisors that we have been doing monthly at 1 o'clock. So I'll let you all determine.
All available.
Yeah, I'm so good for that too.
Okay. Once I verify that date for sure, I'll make sure that you all have that.
All right. So with that, Mr. Pennington, you want to provide any closing remarks?
Let me go first. So again, I'd like to thank Dr. Arbogast, Ms. Mustang, and Ms. Amanda for all they do. Anybody that's associated with our school system, thank you for all your hard work. I know it's not easy, we say this every time that you go here again, but it's not easy, we appreciate all you do. Keep up the good work. Keep plugging along. As far as this COVID stuff goes, it don't matter what decision us five up here sit up here and make, there's not a right or a wrong answer. You're not gonna win either way. And it is a hard decision to make, but hopefully we made the right one and everything will go good. But just thank everybody that has anything to do with the school system. Thank these board members up here for all they do. Mark, I hope you hear this, I hope you get you feeling better.
Thank you.
Get back soon. That's all I have.
Mark, again, I hope you do feel better. Hey, I know you'd be wanting to say about rolling eyes right now, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Again, I just kind of like to say what Philip said. Thank everybody for their involvement. I know that Terry and Lisa spent countless hours talking with people, and I appreciate that. And I know our virtual days has been tough. I know our teachers, it's a lot of work, you know, for you guys having to do that, but I appreciate that. I know you'd rather have them in school. And, you know, we don't always agree a lot of times amongst all of us, but I can promise you we do have the best interests of our kids. You know, we're trying to make decisions on what we think is the best for them. So with that being said, just kind of bear with us and, you know, let us try to do what we think is the right thing to do. And also congratulate the theater team. I think Terry had mentioned that. That was a great job, and that's a pretty amazing little talented group to go watch if you ever get a chance to go watch some of their performance. It's really great. Ms. Rosano does a great job with them.
Mr. Buckley?
I'll echo what the other two board members have said about thanking everyone, Dr. Arbogast and Lisa, and staff, teachers, bus drivers, everybody. Would like to, it's nice to come up here. It seems like every 6 months or so, Ms. Orsano is doing a great job with something with the theater program at NARAS and winning a competition, doing something. I want to again recognize that group doing a great job there. Want to also thank the county maintenance staff. You guys are out. They're out there scraping and salting and trying to get it where we can get in safely to our schools, and they do. That's not a fun job when it's 20 degrees and blowing snow and trying to make sure that we can get back to operations as soon as we can. They do a great job on that. Want to thank everyone for their patience with us and dealing with this masking situation. Again, this was rolled out. School boards were provided no guidance. And things may change going forward with all those, but we want to make sure that we're really watching that and bear with us. We're going to do our best, like we've been doing through this whole situation. And thank you, folks, for being here tonight.
Mr. Williams?
I'd like to just agree with everybody, what they said, even agree with what Melissa said.
Oh, that's a first, right?
But now you would have thought that a year ago, 2 years ago, things maybe started getting better at this point. It's not, it seems, and it's seems it may get worse at times, but like everybody in that room, I think, is dealing with the best way we know how, and I think everybody's heart's in the right place, and I think we're doing all we can, and bear with us, and we're going to do the best, we know how, and so we thank everybody there for what they do, and everybody in the school system and in that room, so thank you very much.
And I probably should have done this maybe earlier in the meeting, but I did forward some information to each board member from the virtual board meeting that we had was it last week, Dr. Yes.
Last Thursday, I think it was.
There's a list of enrollment for each of the regions that we're in that group with. And that program went pretty flawlessly this year. We agreed to stick with the same groups that were providing the virtual again this year. And something that might be of interest, and we can probably make this available if we needed to on our webpage somewhere, Dr. Arbogast, if people were interested, but there was a survey that Caitlin, our director, put out to get feedback on what's good and what's bad about the virtual program. And it just shows that those folks that weren't happy about how much work some of those programs were putting out and how they were grading, some of the programs weren't providing ABC grades, and so all that's been corrected. And she's doing a great job with that. So I'll keep everybody informed as that program moves forward. I don't think we've had any major concerns from our virtual students, but we'll try to stay on top of that. And enrollment should be open. I'm not sure, I can't remember exactly when she said that would start.
I forget what date she said, but I think it probably closes up here within the next week or so, I would think.
Right. So, again, we've made it very clear that you better be an exemplary virtual student before you're going to be allowed to do it in our school system. But if it's there, then we can use it, so be it. But I sent that out to everybody if you want to take a look at it. Beyond that, just let everybody know that budget meetings will be happening, and that's probably one of the most important things that we do. and one of the most frustrating things we do. Didn't wanna, Sabrina, let you know that all those dollar amounts that you talked about that have come in, we will have a very specific list of actions that will be taken using those dollars, what each bucket will be used for, and so if somebody in the future wants to know when their budget's done, if there's money sitting around unutilized or not planned, that won't be the case. So hopefully as we get further down the road, the board of supervisors will be very interested in that, as the public should as well. That's a lot of money that you rolled off, and
Well, it's all on the site, you can go see it, every county, every single county in
Right.
Virginia.
so we will be putting together a list of all the things that'll maybe let us get to 20% of the stuff that we need to get done. All those dollars, but we'll be making sure that everybody knows where that money's going and what we plan on doing with those dollars. And listening to each of the principals give us what they think will make things better. And we'll be continuing to work with the county on the compensation committee, which is made up of teachers and staff, to plan on how we're gonna try to close the gap on this 12+% deficit that we continue to run on teacher pay compared to other places in the region. So we've heard, I mean, we are really working hard to try to get that figured out and make sure the teachers know they have this plan, because for years it's been, we'll do what we can. That's not good enough anymore. We've got to have a plan in place that shows them what we're gonna do, how we're gonna do it, and when they might see some action. So that's a top priority for us as well.
Can I ask you a question on that? Can that money not, this list of money? No, okay.
We only get that one time, and our teachers, we need year after year after year, so we need recurring money for that.
Yeah.
But, just appreciate everybody that has stuck with us through the snow days and the virtual. I don't really like virtual. I think the kids are isolated and more lonely now than they've ever been. And sometimes it's not all about the education. They need to be in a building with their friends and their mentors and away from some of the home lives that they have, and virtual's the best we can do. So we're gonna keep cranking and using those when we have to, but we're gonna put them in the building no matter what it takes. That is all of us, that is our charge, get them in the building. So, and thanks to the teachers. So I think we're off to a start, and we'll hopefully move through the year and have a great second half of the year. That's all I got. Mr. Wilburn, from your virtual desk, you wanna roll us out? Oh, hold on a second. Terry said he's got something.
Before I forget, we've met with the calendar committee last week. Have a draft calendar going for 22-23, going back to the calendar committee representatives so they can share it with their staff members. We're gonna meet again February 1st, I think. So there is an outside shot that come February board meeting, you may see a proposed calendar for 22-23.
All right.
So I wanted to put that out there, see that's possible. If it's not February, then it will be March.
Very good. All right, Mark,
I move to adjourn.
got a motion?
Make that motion.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mark.